Yeah, performance was difficult during 2020 for everybody, and choirs in particular wound up very early on finding themselves at the sort of the epicenter because this was an airborne virus. Was that intimidating for your membership?
Yes, I mean, of course, singing is because of projection, what you're doing with your voice and the way COVID spreads. It is a challenge. It is one of those activities that has a higher risk. And so, the board in the off season, was really debating and contemplating what is the best approach. And, the guidance was in such flux for a while. We have, an insurance company that we have, liability concerns, but we also, we're not medical experts. So we felt the responsible thing to do was to follow the official guidance, local and CDC. And that was what our insurance company also told us we had to do. And so what we had done was debated vigorously, but it came out that we felt it was the responsible thing to require vaccination for our members. We are singing in a pretty packed in environment on risers. So, you could be singing directly behind a person at their head, that kind of thing. So we felt that that was the responsible thing to do. So, it was something that was widely debated. And I think with the breakthrough cases too, we have some in our group that are immune compromised. So, even if you've had your vaccine and there's a breakthrough case and you have someone that's immune compromised, we really wanted to make sure we were putting the health and safety and well-being of our members first and foremost. We did have some members leave, but we had other members leave that was not related to that. Every year we have people move, people have health reasons for leaving. We have a lot of older members, for example. So we did lose some members, but it was not really, entirely due to COVID. We had about an even number leave for other reasons as well. But on the upside, we actually gained a lot of new members from our community. So they've been contributing a lot to the choir. And so we're really grateful to have them, and we're excited to have some fresh faces in our group this season.
Well, given some of the restrictions that you have to work with, what will these indoor concerts look like for people who are coming to be in the audience?
Yeah, we have on all of our advertising that masks are going to be required. We are performing at other people's venues. We don't have our own venue. We are guests in other people's homes, so to speak. So we will be performing at the Leavenworth Church of the Nazarene, the Snowy Owl Theater with the Icicle Creek Center for the Arts, as well as Cascade High School. We have 5 concerts this season, and they'll be those venues. And so out of an abundance of caution, for protection of we have volunteers that help us, sell tickets and greet people. So we want to just, we feel like wearing masks, we have to wear it at the grocery store, we have to do it in other places. A lot of venues are actually requiring vaccination, which we are not doing, but we are just requiring the courtesy of masks for those attending. And we feel like that's a small, concession to make, for the care and consideration of others.
Do you think the choir will have to sing with masks as well?
We've been hoping that we wouldn't have to, but given the breakthrough cases and things like that, and as I said, we do have some members that are immune compromised. I do think we are going to have to wear masks. We actually have these singers masks that are a little bit further away from your mouth to enable singing. We've been practicing with them in all of our rehearsals, so we're quite used to them. The sound does carry out pretty well, and we have the mics and everything else. So I don't think it will create a muffled sound. We've been practicing that way. We've recorded ourselves that way, and I don't think it really has an impact on the sound. What is unfortunate is everyone likes to see smiling faces, and you'll just have to see smiling eyes. But you can hear. Any person who sings will say you can hear it when someone's smiling in the voice. So we hope that won't be a deterrent, and what we can promise is that it will be a joyful and exciting concert season. We didn't get to do that last year. So many activities were canceled last year. And so I think people rightfully are excited to get back to seeing live performance, supporting the arts, and just getting this bit of Christmas joy in their holiday season. Not related to COVID at all, but our director of 20 years, Larry Henderson, decided to retire. And we had to find a new director, and our accompanist, who'd been with us for many years, she moved out of state. And so we had a rigorous process in this year off as well to be interviewing for a new director and accompanist. And so Mindy Wall is our new director this year. She's with the Cascade school district, and she directs the high school and middle school choirs, and she's just fantastic. But she's been working us really hard, and I think she's definitely raised the bar and raising our level of performance.
On a non-Christmas note, your choir sang for Macklemore not recently.
Yeah, I know. I think people who are familiar with the Leavenworth Village Voices would be, what? So we were contacted this summer to do if we would be willing to do a recording session with Ryan Lewis, who's part of the Macklemore Ryan Lewis duo, at an all-day session for in a state-of-the-art recording studio to do a number of pieces. So Ryan Lewis was there, as well as his co-producer, I guess I can say their sound engineer, Brian Wall. And they were absolutely great working with us. It was a very collaborative and fun process. We would make suggestions, and he would say, "Oh, that's good," or "Hey, how about try this?" And it was just a lot of fun. We sang on about a dozen different pieces for various artists, and including Macklemore being one, and then there were others as well, including there was some a true crime podcast that Ryan Lewis does instrumental music for, and so there was kind of a really neat choir sound to go with that. So we haven't learned about any other pieces that will be released from that, but we did hear but the new Macklemore Ryan Lewis song called "Next Year" that was released at the end of October. We do the backing vocals on the chorus for that song. 'Cause next year's gonna be better than better. Next year's gonna be better than this. Next year's gonna be better than this. 'Cause New Year's Eve coming with a fresh kiss. Next year's gonna be better than this. Next year's gonna be better than this year. Next year's gonna be better than this. 'Cause New Year's Eve coming with a fresh kiss. And next year's gonna be better than this. Better than this. All of the information about our performances is on our website, which is leavenworthvillagevoices.org. It's a brand new website. You can do online ticket purchases in advance, or you can purchase tickets at the door. But we're really excited for the music selections this year, and we want to share the joy of Christmas with everyone who comes.